Good morning, Year 5, and welcome to what is hopefully your last ever pre-recorded English lesson. So, we really want to try hard today. It's our last one, and let's end it all on a positive note. So today we're going to be carrying on from what we did yesterday. We're going to be finishing writing our poem. We're going to write it all today and hopefully share our final pieces on Friday. So to start our lesson, I'd like us to write the date and the LO in our English books. The date is Wednesday, the 3rd of March 2021, and the LO is to write my poem. So please pause the video and do that neatly in your English books, and then we'll move on to the lesson. Okay, so quickly have a look at the signs of success. So to be successful in today's lesson, you need to use your planning to help you write your own poem, use rhyming words and complex vocabulary, be ready with your finished poem to share on Friday, and just have fun with it. So, here's a reminder of how your poem should be presented. Please use a pen and a ruler to underline the title, and I really want you to take pride in your presentation so I can see how wonderful they are on Friday. So again, you have your title underlined, a new sentence starts with the capital letter. There's around 4 sentences per verse, a new verse per idea, and punctuation at the end of each sentence. So make sure you have all of those things when writing your own. I'm just going to read through Junk and the one we came up with yesterday just to remind you of what sort of things you could include in your own. So, Junk. If Jasper O'Leary excelled at one thing, when it came to junk food, he was clearly the king. In his teens he found less healthy things for his plate. He'd eat butter with lard and drink vinegar straight. And this is when Jasper got really bizarre, like eating car tires dipped in piping hot tar. His reputation for junk food just couldn't be tarnished, like jackhammer soup with a barbed wire garnish. His doctor said, "Son, let us pray for your health." So he tried salad once, but it just burned his mouth. So he stuck with the junk and made a new goal, to swallow an all-tankers cargo hold whole. The day that he died saw a closed cemetery. This is no place for old Jasper O'Leary. So they took him elsewhere on the night, cold and grim, to the outskirts of town, to a place just for him. Yes, they took him elsewhere, then they read his last rites. It's the junkyard where Jasper now spends his nights. Okay, and our version, which is called Rotten. Connor O'Jagger had an unhealthy obsession, eating everything rotten in his possession. If it was mouldy and black, it was on his plate, mouth-watering and tongue-tingling at anything out of date. When Connor was a baby, his parents discovered his bizarre habit. The very second he reached to the bin, they shot like a rocket to grab it. The rumours began to dance around the town, folks whispering and pointing in horror at the local clown. Mr. and Mrs. O'Jagger took their concern to the doctor's surgery, abandoning him there in disgust as if he had committed perjury. So Connor tried to change his ways, making himself a salad drizzled in mayonnaise. The attempt was disastrous, scalding his insides, so he stuck with the rot and the mould, knowing he had tried. At the age of 22, Connor's stomach began to erode. His journey sadly came to the end of the road. This town was no place for Connor O'Jagger, so they threw his decayed body into the local tip, where Connor could at last peacefully get some kip. In what Connor would describe as heaven is where he spends his nights as a result of his odd obsession. So that is 2 examples of what you could use to inspire you for today's poem. I've come up with some vocabulary to help you, some rhyme, some don't, but you might want to use these in your poem. You could pause the video and make a note of these, or come back to this part of the video to remind yourself. Remember, in your poem you can choose your character's name and your character's unhealthy obsession, so they could be obsessed with eating rotten food, junk food, or sweets, but we try and keep it revolting, okay? To fit in line with the story of Junk. Here are some sentence starters if you need them. I'd like you to try not to, But if you're struggling to think of how to start each verse or each line, here are some examples. So we have Jasper O'Leary had, eating everything, in his teens, the rumours began to, his reputation, his doctor said, his parents discovered, the day that he died, Jasper O'Leary felt, this town was, the obsession, he attempted to. So you don't need to use them in this order, and obviously you would change the character's name, but here are some ideas if you feel like you need them. Okay, so now with that information, I would like you to have a go at writing your own poems. You can use your plan, your vocabulary mind map to help you. You can also pause this video at different points to look at the poem examples and the suggested vocabulary and sentence starters. You might want to write yours on a laptop so you can easily change rhyming words and vocabulary. However, it does not have to rhyme. And I just want you to try your best. Hopefully it's our last lesson online. I'm sure they will be great and we can share them on Friday on Zoom at 11:15. So pause this video and have a go at writing your poems. Okay, thanks Year 5. Hopefully you all enjoyed writing your own poems about your revolting obsessions with your characters. So please post them on Class Dojo so I can have a look ready for Friday. And I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day and week.